I don't make God do anything. The Tao, or God, flows in and through me wherever the open door allows it to flow. So, just a couple of things to check in on there. Have I been trying to make God do something? Have I been praying and looking for God to respond in a particular way? Because that can only come from my separate self. And so what this is saying is melt the separateness and allow the non-separate self to pray through you. And then what you'll notice is love, 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 joy, 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 God, God, God. That alone is what will bubble forth from you if you let go of the separateness. In the absence of separateness, there's no pain, there's no limitation, there's no fear, there's no judgment, there's no shame, there's no blame, there's no resentment, there's no resistance. There is, I don't make God do anything. And Amen and welcome, 1,000 welcomes to all. We are meditating today, part of our series on instant self-enlightenment. And we're focusing today particularly on loving consciousness. So this loving consciousness is our true nature. It is what we are forever. You almost could say that each of us is connected to a pure blueprint of loving consciousness. And so we're opening and we're inviting that pure blueprint of loving consciousness to fill the body, to fill the heart, to fill the mind, to fill the life. What happens then, the yogis have systematically studied this and have noticed what happens if we connect with the energy of loving consciousness is that we can guarantee a self-transformation. We can guarantee a self-enlightenment. And among the things that get transformed, we were meditating on a couple of these in the opening. The energy of hatred will be transformed. The energy of shame will be transformed. The energy of fear will be transformed. And so those were the ones that we started off meditating with. We probably can stop there. That'll give us enough to work with. But just so that you know, the yogis also let us know, each of us, as we connect with this energy of pure loving consciousness, this divine, limitless blueprint of love that is present within each of us, we also transform egoism, and we transform pride, and we transform any feeling of separateness. So if we have felt separate from others on the basis of class or race or gender or training or education or status or position, anything where we have felt separate, like we might feel better in some cases, we might feel worse in some cases, the yogis say that actually melts away. And we realize it's the same loving consciousness that's present in all names. It's the same loving consciousness that's present in all forms. So there's no separateness anymore. That fear energy, the judgment energy, the comparison energy melts away. And so we're connecting ourselves instantly to self-healing as well when we contact this energy of loving consciousness. So I'm going to share a couple of statements of truth from Swami Nityananda. He says, everything that is before you is the opportunity to experience instant self-enlightenment. Then you are living self-realization, and only then. This means absolutely everything that is before you is the light appearing before you in the form of whatever is appearing before you. And self-enlightenment comes when we open to notice and appreciate the divine is fully present. Deeper than anything else I am experiencing in time and space is that loving consciousness, which undergirds all of existence, which is the support system for everything in time and space, including me, including you, including all beings. And so this is the energy that upholds the whole universe. It's the energy of pure support, the energy of whole loving consciousness, each of us continually connected to that energy. And so we're simply opening and allowing that energy to flow through us. And so a couple of illustrations of this from Swami Nityananda, and he's shared these in different contexts, and it makes me smile because they're all saying the same truth in different ways. I don't make God do anything. The Tao, or God, flows in and through me wherever the open door allows it to flow. So, just a couple of things to check in on there. Have I been trying to make God do something? Have I been praying and looking for God to respond in a particular way? Because that can only come from my separate self. And so what this is saying is melt the separateness and allow the non-separate self to pray through you. And then what you'll notice is love, 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 joy, 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 God, God, God. That alone is what will bubble forth from you if you let go of the separateness. In the absence of separateness, there's no pain, there's no limitation, there's no fear, there's no judgment, there's no shame, there's no blame, there's no resentment, there's no resistance. There is, I don't make God do anything. And so for each of us, just to identify, is there perhaps one way in which I've been trying to make God do something? And can I surrender that? Can I lovingly, with a sense of humor, let go of any feeling of impatience or judgment or frustration or blame or shame? Just offer it to the light. Place it on the altar of light. What touches light transforms into light. What touches love remembers, I too am love. And so we're remembering deeper than anything is this non-forcing, opening and allowing the divine to be fully present. And so the second part of what he said there was the Tao, or God, flows in and through me wherever the open door allows it to flow. And so right now, I invite myself and us and all, I open my heart. I allow the Tao to flow. I allow my heart to be completely open so that the Tao or the divine is able to fully flow here and now. Doesn't it feel amazing? I see these beatific smiles on people's faces. It feels so amazing. Doesn't it feel like such a relief not to be fighting and trying to make God do something, but opening and saying, grace is fully present here. Love and wisdom are fully present here. And so then for each of us, it's a simple invitation and opportunity. Anytime we have a feeling of, I would love to welcome more kindness, I would love to welcome more light, I would love to welcome more feeling of wholeness, I open my heart. I allow the divine to flow kindness. I open my heart. I allow the divine to flow light. I open my heart. I allow the divine to flow wholeness. I open my heart. I allow the divine to flow a feeling of caring and connection and support, community, friendship, companionship, joy, abundance, prosperity, inspiration, creativity. So whatever we feel like I've been wanting to reach for that outside of myself, open and allow that energy to come from within us. A divine blueprint of wholeness and light and love and consciousness is already within us. And so we're opening to that divine blueprint and then allowing that divine blueprint, let's have fun with this, to embody fully through us. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. If you are enjoying this content, please like, share, and subscribe. It helps joy travel. So this means offering this physical vehicle, this body that each of us are in, to fully embody loving consciousness. There will be transformation in our relationship to our physical vehicle as we offer the physical vehicle to fully embody loving consciousness. If we offer the heart to fully embody loving consciousness, there will be transformation. So guess what melts away? I was listening to Swami Nityananda this week, and he was talking about prior to meeting his teacher in embodiment. His teacher was Swami Premananda, a beautiful being of light who was living these sacred teachings of truth. Prior to practicing Kriya Yoga, Swami Shankarananda said, I was in agony. I was crying out to know God. I was asking God, who are you? Where are you? What are you? How do I know you? Where is this kingdom of heaven? It's inside of me. Where? Show me where this is. And you could feel how keen and how clear and how pure was that heart request. And that heart request led him to his teacher. And I have shared this before, but we're always getting new friends. And so I'll share this again. The first time he met his teacher, at the end of the meditation, he came through the greeting line and he was going to shake Swami Premananda's hand and he couldn't speak. Tears just streamed down his face. And Swami Premananda said, that's okay, we'll have plenty of time to talk later. That's okay. But this is also a beautiful and perfect demonstration that whatever we are truly giving ourselves to will give itself to us. And so the sincerity of that heart request, I long to know God, I must know God, where is God, how do I know God, led Swami Shankarananda to Swami Premananda. And when you come into contact with a teacher of truth who is living the teachings of truth, self-transformation becomes possible. And so Swami Shankarananda says, when that happened, my life transformed. And so what Swami Shankarananda became was sunshine in human form. He became that energy of pure, loving consciousness, demonstrating that's the opportunity and invitation for all of us. So how may I simply, whenever I have a question, whenever I feel a need, whenever I have a longing or a yearning or I have a pain, whenever I have what Swami Shankarananda described as a feeling of agony, am I truly open to the energy of the solution? And what that means is being able to name what you would love to experience and being able to let go of the appearance of anything to the contrary. Okay, so to put that into the example that I was just talking about, Swami Shankarananda had to be open to knowing God rather than frustrated about the feeling of where's God, right? Does that make sense? And so for you, whatever that absolute pure longing of your heart is, your soul is, like I'm longing to heal this pain. It might be a physical pain. It might be an emotional pain. Or I'm longing to know what is my true self. I'm longing to know who am I eternally. Having named that, being open, being willing to let go of identifying with limitation, being willing to let go of identifying with the causes of pain in order to being able to open to the energy of healing, being able to let go of any lesser self-identification. If I want to allow myself to be that energy of purely loving consciousness, that means I have to be willing to let go of any other self-image to the contrary. Does everyone feel that? And so whatever it is where we have been, I long for this, I'm open to this, my whole heart is calling out for this. Here's another question, courtesy of Swami Shankarananda. What is my self-image in relation to that? Am I willing to change my self-image in relation to that? Am I willing to let go of my old self-image in order to fully embody the truth, to live the realization of this loving consciousness? Am I willing to let go of any lesser way that I have identified myself or humans have identified me? Am I willing to let go of any label that has been put upon me, any judgment, any limitation, in order to explore in pure loving consciousness, what am I? What's always here? What can never leave me? So I'm going to start to share a couple of teachings from the Upanishads and from the Bhagavad Gita as well. And I just can't help but resist. Swami Nityananda also says, it's possible to live in love 24/7. So 24/7, it's possible to live in love. And so I'm opening, I am allowing love to be fully here 24/7. And am I willing to let go of anything else? Am I willing to just set it aside, lay it down, let go of, remember what I was talking about at the outset, I let go of hatred, I let go of shame, I let go of fear, I let go of any old self-image, and I allow that energy of fully loving consciousness to be absolutely present here. The Upanishads, and this is from the Mundaka, says this: Brahman is supreme, self-luminous, beyond all thought. Subtler than the subtlest is Brahman, farther than the farthest, nearer than the nearest. Brahman resides in the lotus of the heart of every being. So what I'm longing for, it's already here in the lotus of my heart. I am already subtly carrying the divine blueprint for everything I adore. For each of us, see if you can allow yourself to feel that. And so what I'm doing is I'm noticing the source of the solution. It's here. It's in Brahman, in the lotus of my heart. It's with me and within me already. And so I'm allowing that to open. I'm allowing that to blossom. And I'm also trusting the unfoldment of that. So if you notice, the flowers know exactly when to bloom. And so you're trusting grace has its own pace. You're trusting that unfoldment of grace. You're trusting the lotus of the heart is open. The lotus of the heart is unfurling. The lotus of the heart is pure light. The lotus of the heart, that is that fully loving consciousness, it's here. My true identity, that source of wholeness and healing and gladness and freeing and well-being and joy, it's here. And I'm living into the fullness of that. I am allowing myself directly to know that and to feel that, and then I am allowing that truth to embody fully in me. So I'm allowing myself to walk around as an embodiment of loving consciousness. And there's no limits to loving consciousness. So no matter how much of this loving consciousness we allow to embody through us and to unfold and to express through it, there's no limit. That Swami Nityananda used to say, that's an infinitesimal expression of all of the loving consciousness. So there's no limit. And so for each of us to have so much fun every moment, there's no limit. I am opening in this moment to that unlimited loving consciousness and allowing it to transform me. And reading again from the Mundaka Upanishad. The eyes do not see Brahman. Speech cannot utter Brahman. Senses cannot reach Brahman. By the pure in heart is Brahman known. And so you're allowing yourself to go deeper than the senses. Deeper than sensory perception, your awareness is already here. It's already in your heart. So that which sees through you, see if you can tune into that. It's in your heart. That which hears through you, it's in your heart. That which loves through you, it's in your heart. That which is aware through you, that which has a question through you, that which feels pain through you, that which feels joy and laughter through you, it's already here. And it's subtle. And so I'm just inviting us to notice, this particular invitation comes courtesy of Ramana. It is possible to let the mind rest in that heart, in that direct, subtle awareness. That right there is the divine. Right there. It's actually much simpler and more present, more direct, more available continually than the mind might make you think. Like the mind can come up with all of these scenarios, like I have to have this, and there should probably be angels and trumpets. I probably have to climb at least a couple mountains, travel to at least a couple of other countries. And then the divine, it's already right here. It's with you the whole way through. And so one of the things that Swami Premananda says, which is so sweet and so true, he says, the individual just realizes, I've never been separate. The Supreme has always been here. So if you can, and so I'm just giving us this invitation right now, but this is clearly something you could meditate with later at greater length. If you can, notice that what I was referring to earlier as loving consciousness or as a pure divine blueprint of love, that has been with you your whole existence. A pure divine blueprint of love has been with you your whole existence. From your earliest awareness, whatever your earliest awareness is, that which is aware through you is that purely loving consciousness, that pure blueprint of divine love. If you're allowing yourself to truly see and feel that, it will change, it will transform the way that you look back upon your human experience. It especially heals and transforms anywhere that you felt pain, anywhere that you felt shame, anywhere that there's been a feeling of anger, anywhere that there's been a feeling of blame. If you simply allow yourself to see, even when this was happening, deeper than that, the pure blueprint of divine love was with me. The pure loving consciousness was with me deeper than that. So my human self can let go of any pain that I have been carrying in relation to what I have experienced in time and space. My human self can let go of any shame that I have been carrying in relation to what I have experienced in time and space. I will also mention, the yogis say, Lahiri Mahashaya says, with truth, if you meditate, if you practice Kriya, you will get to make friends with 7 generations of ancestors, 7 generations of descendants. Every time we meditate, we bless our ancestors. Another way of putting this is we heal any ancestral pain patterns that have come down to us. We heal them as we meditate. And that blesses our ancestors back into the past, but it also blesses our descendants into the future. So every time we're not meditating for ourselves alone. We're meditating for all of our ancestors, the ones we know and the ones we don't know. And we're also meditating for all of the people who come after us, the ones we know and the ones we don't know. And so what happens is we're clearing this energy of fear. We're clearing the energy of hatred. We're clearing the energy of shame. And then the yogis say along the way, egoism also gets cleared. Pride also gets cleared. Judgment also gets cleared. And what happens then is anywhere that, so I'm trying to think of how to say this. Swami Shankarananda is really clear about this, that if we judge, what happens is we are interrupting the continuous flow of light. So discernment really matters. Awareness really matters. Wisdom really matters. Nobody is telling you to go be an ostrich, okay? Keep your awareness, keep your wisdom, keep your discernment, but let go of judgment, because unintentionally it interrupts the continuous flow of light. And so we ourselves feel the interruption in the continuous flow of light if we are engaging in judgment. And so anytime you notice, okay, judgment is present, let there not be judgment about that. Let there be a sense of playfulness and good humor and fun, and just say, okay, I notice I'm getting into that energy of judgment. I'm going to choose to love myself so much that I don't interrupt the continuous flow of light. And I keep the wisdom, I keep the discernment, and of course, I just want to say this, in case you have any questions about this, of course we're here to act wisely and joyfully in time and space. Of course we're here to be fully present, to be beautiful humans, connected with loving consciousness, rather than disconnected from loving consciousness. So anytime you have a choice to make or a decision to make, or you're looking for what thoughts are most helpful for me to think, how is it most helpful for me to look upon this endeavor or this conversation or this relationship or this experience or this encounter, this perception, this memory, I open to connect. Coming back to that phrasing, I don't make God do anything. The Tao or God flows in and through me wherever the open door allows it to flow. So I choose to love the divine and myself and all beings so much that I will not interrupt that flow of the divine with judgment. And I will not interrupt that flow of the divine with shame or hatred or fear or egoism or feeling separate from anyone. And then what happens is I will start to notice the energy of universal friendship is here. The energy of universal kindness, universal caring, universal sharing, universal kinship is here. The energy of recognizing that all sisters and brothers, all beings, all forms of life arise in time and space from this one loving consciousness. And so, of course, we will move bravely and wisely, magnificently, tenderly, courageously in relation to humans, in relation to plants, in relation to animals, in relation to the earth, knowing this is the divine in the form of all of this, and recognizing that this body temple for each of us is a beloved, beautiful, spiritually magnificent expression of that pure, loving consciousness. And just notice greeting your own body in that awareness. How does that feel to be in your own body, in that truth? And how does it feel to look around at the magnificent beings and recognize that is that energy of pure, loving consciousness? And anywhere that I'm looking out and I'm having a hard time seeing the presence of God, that's where my invitation is to open my heart further. Swami Nityananda said, if there is one person you do not love, you cannot say you love God. God is present in all humans. And by grace, we can expand. By grace, if we become aware of that, I open my heart and I allow the divine to flow in and through me. I open my heart and allow that flow to be fully here now. Thank God, and God bless us all.